Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet. Engage. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle of what Starfleet is based. Now you can't find it within yourself to stand up, tell the truth. You don't deserve to wear that uniform.
This is becoming a speech.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows.
Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
He just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic. Incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic, quite hypnotic. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving. I'm not dressed properly. My love is a fever, longing till for that which longer nurses the disease. You'll have to call again. In faith, I do not love thee. With mine eyes they be 1,000 errors see. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise. In despite of you are pleased to go. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You'll have to call again. Darmok, Angelad, at Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, at Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, at Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, at Tanagra. I am Locutus aboard. You will respond to my questions. I am Locutus aboard. You aboard. I am Locutus aboard. You will assist us. I am Locutus aboard. You aboard. I am Locutus aboard. Block phases on that vessel. I am Locutus aboard. There are 4 lights. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain John Picard of the USS
ramble on about something everyone knows.
Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic. Incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic, quite hypnotic.
Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving. I'm not dressed properly.
My love is a fever, longing till for that which longer nurses the disease. You'll have to go again. In faith, I do not love thee. With mine eyes they be 1,000 errors see. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise. In despite of you are pleased to go. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You'll have to go again. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. I am Locutus aboard. You will respond to my questions. I am Locutus aboard. You are bored. I am Locutus aboard. You will assist us. I am Locutus aboard. You are bored. I am Locutus aboard. Lock phases on that vessel. I am Locutus aboard. There are 4 lights. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
First duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle of a Starfleet is based. And you can't find it within yourself. Stand up, tell the truth. You don't deserve to wear that uniform.
This is becoming a speech.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows.
Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic. Incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic, moving from topic to topic, quite You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving. I'm not dressed properly. My love is a people longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease.
You have to call again.
I who long
Welcome.
loved thee with mine eyes.
I listen to the song all day. We got Travis in the chat. What's up?
My heart that loves what they despise.
Should be coming up on the screen.
So shall I compare thee
To a summer's day. Well, it's that time again. It's time for the Casa Film live stream show where I do all sorts of things, mostly editing in Premiere, teaching filmmaking, sharing my knowledge with you all. How's it going? It is the hottest day of the year, so why the hell am I wearing a sweatshirt? Well, a hoodie, I guess I could call it. I'm wearing it because it's Star Trek The Next Generation style, and there's a song. I'm going to hit the mic. Ho! We do that every stream until it's actually going to be wintertime. Then I'll keep the thing on. But welcome. How's it going? Well, I remembered your film name, Nice and Naughty, A Christmas Story. Yeah. So that's cool. So I figured it was you, Travis. Good to see you. I got some coffee, some iced coffee right here, which is a bad idea because it means I'm going to be up all night. How are you, Travis? How was your weekend? How's everything? How's the film going? What are you up to? Like, where is the film? What stage is the film in right now? Is it, are you editing it? Are you still filming things? I'm curious. Move that down a bit. Foley. That's right. I feel like it was on Foley the last time we spoke. I get it, though. I mean, I'm sure you have a job and responsibilities. Making a film is about as tough as doing a stream twice a week. It's pretty tough. But, yeah. I'd say, do what you got to do. Get it done. Get it out there. Try to put it into some festivals. Let it be known. And then move on to the next thing. Learn what you can. But I guess what you want to do is you want to try to have it out by Christmas, I suppose. So I guess July working on it is not so bad, since your film is set at Christmas time. Actually, what you want to do is you want to have it out by like November, like mid-November, because then you have like a good solid like month and a half before Christmas. One time I worked on a film that this guy hired me on. He hired me as a DP for like a sketch comedy thing. And he had this idea for like an Easter sketch, so he wanted it to be out for Easter. And I forget exactly what it was about. It was like all the holiday mythical people like Santa and the Easter Bunny and like other, I forget the other people involved. They were all playing poker or something. But I don't know. I forget exactly. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember that like he dropped it, like it was dropped on Easter, like probably like at 2:00 in the afternoon on like Easter. And he was disappointed with how little views it got and with how little, attention it got. This was in the age where everyone sort of was hoping that their video would go viral. So he really like was kind of banking on it going viral. But the problem is like, I don't know where he was in the process, but obviously it was too late. He should have started sooner, or he should have edited faster, got it out sooner. Cause like it was that video that taught me that if you're going to do a themed video, like if you want a viral video to catch and it's like an Easter theme, it should be out at least like 2 weeks before Easter, during the lead up to Easter or during the lead up to the holiday. Because if you drop it on the holiday, it's too late. Because you're in the people are like in the season for it. They're going shopping, they're searching things that's out there. But once it hits, they're not really talking about it anymore. So if you have a movie that's set in Christmas, you probably want to have it release by like November 1st, or like, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving or something. So just try to shoot for that. Just a little advice. Today's stream is going to be technical again in nature. So I guess I'll catch you up. Shooting for Black Friday. That's good. That's a good release day. But I would even say before that, if you can try, it would be good. But I would say no later than Black Friday is probably the best thing to do. So last week, I didn't stream in this format. I was working all last week. I worked from Sunday through Thursday all last week, mostly 12-hour days. 2 of the days were 14-hour days, working on a sort of like a really well-produced online course with with expert teachers in their field. I don't want to say the name of the brand, and I don't want to say the name of the course that it was, although if you go back and watch my stream from last Wednesday, if you listen at all, if you scrub to the part where things actually start happening, you could easily hear what the topic was. You don't know who they are, and you don't know who the person was, and you don't know the name of the company, but it was a good gig. It was definitely all like COVID aware. Like, we were all wearing masks. I wore gloves a lot of the time. We had to stay 6 feet apart. There was a lot of people zooming in. The director, like people of the company, the director, I guess, was there, but like people from the company and the sound guy were all zooming in. That was the biggest like hurdle, was the sound. Like, we had 2 people there and then the talent. So there was 3 of us there for the shoots. For the setup days, we had 2 setup days. Those were a couple more people helping set up, mostly the DP. I was not the DP. I was just a camera operator, but I helped set up everything. At the most, there were like 5 people there, max. But I tell you, like, the one thing I learned was, like, a remote sound engineer is not good. I mean, at the very least, one more person socially distanced, one more, like, a sound engineer being there on set would have saved hours. Probably my 2 days that I went overtime probably would not have gone overtime if there was an in-house, in-person sound engineer there helping. But it is what it is, you know. We're doing our best. I'm just glad to be working. But for me and for my production company, if we're going to do any kind of work in this sort of environment, I definitely want to make sure that, like, you know, only essential people are there on the shoot wearing PPE. And to me, essential sound. Sound is essential for me. So that's what happened. And, you know, that's what having this stream is going to be. You know, if I can stream from the shoots, I will. I did a little covertly. I didn't announce it. I didn't tell the company that I was doing it. But if they did, like, get on me about it, I would just say, like, you know, I didn't say anything. I didn't mention the name. I didn't talk about anything. All I talked about was, like, the specific camera that I was using and, like, specific techniques. Obviously, they can go and watch the stream and see that, like, there's really nothing crazy about it. And if anything, I would like to think it was, like, helpful for them as in terms of advertising. If they signed off on it, I would definitely, like, promote it more. But it was cool. Well, the director was telling me that tutorial I should touch base with him, because he was mentioning to me about tutorials and things like that, and I had mentioned my YouTube channel, so I'll probably touch base with them eventually, and who knows, maybe there'll be some sort of collaboration. I really like it when you broke the fourth wall and grit your teeth, etc. What do you mean? When I was doing the live stream on, like, Monday, and one of the crew walked in and I kind of had to, like, stop what I was doing? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm also streaming right now on Twitch, twitch.tv/rethinkfilms. I have 1 viewer over there. Hey, how's it going? So I do filmmaking education. Please talk in the chat. Your chat will pop up on the screen here, and also we could talk. So the week before last week, I was doing editing of a show called Tell Us Damn It. I was working on trying to figure out how to get a multi-clip to work, multi-cam to work, which is like you sync all the footage up. You have multiple cameras while you're shooting the same thing live. And what you can do in a Premiere and in Final Cut too, you could do it in Final Cut, was you sync all the cameras up and you can see all the cameras running at the same time. And all you do to edit is you click between them, and it makes the edits in the timeline as you click between them. It took all stream to figure out how to get that to work. And it was very tedious, but I did get it to work. I'm not doing that today. I am not doing more multicam today. What I am doing is I'm going to start the preliminary work on editing a music video. A couple of weeks ago, it was like the day after the shoot or something, like the week after that shoot, I went through some of the footage. So if you go to past live streams over at this link over here, youtube.com/rethinkfilms, and if you watch one of the past streams, one of the live streams I did was me just going through the footage, just looking at it in like media player, just like looking at the footage. And but I have not yet actually brought that footage into Premiere. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's my first time bringing the footage into Premiere and just making sure it works, because it's a pretty new camera. The camera's only like 3 years old or less, and it shoots in this RAW format. And I want to see like if I have the most up-to-date version of Creative Cloud of Adobe. At least I should. So I'm going to bringing it in. I'm going to try to figure out. I'm going to see like what makes the most sense to do in terms of working with the footage. And I might do some tests, and I'll just walk you through what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But so this might be a little bit of an esoteric stream, or a little bit tedious, but that's what editing is sometimes. Sometimes editing is very tedious. And we have done projects on our new camera, obviously, the C200, working in this RAW format, but I was not the editor on them. It was my business partner working on the editing. Also, I didn't have this computer. So this is going to be like a learning experience for me, just figuring out exactly what the workflow should be working with this RAW footage. And then once I figure that out, then I can start editing the music video. I was on a call with the client today, with the artist today, and I'm looking to give her a rough cut by Thursday or Friday, and then I would like to have a picture lock by Wednesday of next week, and then send it off to Cody so he can color grade it. He uses DaVinci Resolve to color grade it. Then he's going to send me back the color graded footage, and then I do the final tweaks, and then we're done. So it's a bit of a process. So I'm hoping by the end of this week, by Thursday or Friday of this week, to have a rough cut or more. Wait, your glass is a mock-up of a camera lens. Yes, I can't tilt it because it has coffee in it. But yes, this is a mock-up of a Canon. Oh, the names fell off. I guess the name, there are some stickers that have fallen off of here. I had never noticed that. I guess because of the dishwasher. But yeah, this is a cup that is a Canon 24-105 f4 image stabilizer L lens. The sticker fell off that actually says that, but yeah, that's what it is. It says image stabilizer down there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I actually have another one somewhere. I don't know where it is. I actually have this lens too somewhere. It's actually amazing how close how close it is. Actually, let's go get it. Hang on. I'm going to get the lens and compare it. Give me a second. Don't want to spill my coffee. It's actually amazing how close this looks. Hey, Martin, how are you doing, man? Check this out. So here is a mug that I have, and here is my lens. I mean, obviously, I have a piece of white tape on it that I should probably take off. And I have a lens cap on it, and I have a UV filter on top of it. But look at that. Isn't that crazy? I mean, this one's a little bit thicker because... Actually, I'll take it off. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's go crazy here. So I have a UV filter. It's just it's a lens protector. A UV filter. I guess it filters out UV, but it also protects the glass of the lens. And look at that. Once you do that, it's like pretty damn close. Isn't that cool? Obviously, though, this one zooms. You know, so there's no zooming on the mug. That's really cool. I gotta clean this. Ugh. Ah, man, I suck at these threads on these things are so small. All right, there we go. Put that over here. Isn't that crazy? Martin, how are you? How have you been? I was just explaining about the last week and that I was streaming from set and what I'm about to do now. So I guess let's get into it. If anyone else isn't watching in the chat, say hello. I love talking to you guys and girls. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to launch Adobe Premiere. And then we'll come over to my computer once I launch the program. So close, almost no difference. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's cool. I've seen those. Those are pretty ubiquitous. I've seen that mug all over the place at like rental houses and stuff. Okay, so let's do new. Well, all right. I guess it's time. I'll bring us over now. Bing. So I have this thing up here, and it's like, oh, you can see the edge of my green screen in this shot. Let me fix that. Stand by. So where is that? Here we go. Call up the filters. Hang on. It's annoying when I move the Streamlabs to the other computer and I open up another window. It like opens up the window in a place where I can't like interact with it. It's so stupid. I'd love to fix that. Oh, you're seeing all this now. You're seeing all that now. So let's fix this. It would be the left-hand side. There we go. Boom. Okay, cool. Martin, what do you think about 4K, 8K, 12K now and the near future? It's interesting. The shoot that we did this past week, they purchased and they shot it on the Blackmagic Pocket camera 6K. So this thing recorded 6K footage. What do I think about that? I have thoughts. Giveaway. Hi, Giveaway. How's it going? I'm about to give my thoughts about 6K, 8K, 12K. My thoughts are I would need someone to explain to me why they're doing it. I don't see it as being completely necessary. There's many ways to come at it. So like you could think of it as like, oh, well, we're future-proofing our film because when 8K TVs come out or 12K TVs come out, ours will be able to be viewed on those. Okay. My rebuttal to that, Giveaway, it's great here. What about me? It's great here too. Where are you? So my rebuttal to that point is that I have a 4K TV and I am watching things in 4K and then I watch things in 1080. My TV kind of like up-reses 1080 stuff to 4K. And I watch stuff in I go from 4K to 1080. Now, it's a very subtle difference in my opinion from 1080 to 4K footage. I mean, yeah, it looks great, obviously. But like the question becomes like how big does the TV need to get before, if it's not in 4K, if it's only 1080, is it going to look like shit? Number one. Also, like if you're streaming, you know, you might be streaming Netflix in 4K, right? Everybody watches things via streaming. And it might be in 4K. But, you know, whether or not your TV is 8K is one thing. When the hell is Netflix going to stream in 8K is a completely other. That might be another 5 years down the line, if ever. So, like, viewing it at home, like, and plus, like, at a certain size and resolution, like, are you going to really notice if something is shot in 4K or 8K, if you're really going to see that difference? The resolution and the lines are going to get so small and it's going to get such fine detail that, like, There's going to be a limit to what our eye can really distinguish between. So let's assume you can't. Let's say it's scientifically proven that you can't tell the difference on a 65-inch screen. If you're looking at 4K footage and then you're looking at 8K footage, can you tell the difference? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, no. You can't tell the difference. Well, then already then you can't use that as a reason to shoot in 8K. So why else would you shoot in 8K? Oh, well, we're shooting in 8K or 6K so that we could, shoot it a little bit wider, and then we could always punch in. Because if we're only going to output in 4K, if we shoot it in 8K, then we have all this extra room that we could punch in on and move the frame around and still output in 4K and be fine. Okay, that's cool. And in certain circumstances, you might have to do that. There might be certain situations where that's much more beneficial to do. I can't think of any offhand, but the classic scenario is you film an interview a little bit wide, and then you can punch in to a close-up and then punch back out to the wide shot, and you're not losing any quality. People have been touting that since 4K was a thing. Oh, I'm shooting in 4K. I'm going to output in 1080, but I have all this room. I could jump cut in and come out again. It's okay. Now, I've done that in productions that we've shot. We've shot something in 4K, and we punch in, and you punch back out. And technically, yes, you are not losing quality if you're outputting in 1080. You're not losing quality because it's still 1080 when you punch in. It's not like you're blowing it up anymore. But there is still a look difference. Maybe it's not resolution. Maybe it's not lines of resolution difference you're having. But there is something different about the shot. You're using less of the sensor. Any and all grain that you would see at 4K is now a little bit bigger if you punch in. So the grain profile does blow up as you do it. And the way the background looks when you punch in looks different because you're only using a part of the frame. So I would argue that punching in really doesn't do much. You know what I mean? I wouldn't rely on it. I would have a second camera and zoom it in, and so you have the correct looking background and it looks like a good shot with a good lens rather than punching in, because if you punch in and punch out, it's just gonna looks different. It looks flatter. So that argument doesn't really hold, And I'm trying to think of any other reasons. I could foresee a situation where, let's say 8K. I'm extrapolating up to 8K and 4K now. Let's say you're doing a dolly move, or you're doing some kind of camera movement or tracking of an object. If you are outputting in 4K but you shoot in 8K, then you can image stabilize much more easily if you shoot more pixels, even 6K. So if you have any handheld footage, something where something was vibrating, a dolly track that wasn't super smooth, shooting in 6K or 8K and then outputting in 4K, punching in just a little bit just to give you that extra room so that the image stabilizer can do its thing. That is actually, in my opinion, one of the most beneficial things from overshooting your resolution. But once again, that's a pretty specific scenario. And if you shoot in 4K and you do your damnedest to stay as smooth as possible, and you end up having to zoom in a little bit to get that image stabilization, so you are blowing up the shot and then still outputting in 4K, it's really hard for the eyeball to tell the difference between, 4K, 8K, or anything. You even if you take a 4K frame and zoom in just a little bit, 110%, 120%. In Tellus, damn it, if you guys were watching my previous stream where I'm editing in Tellus, damn it, I shot that in 1080, or the footage is 1080, and I zoomed in one shot 120, 125%. It's a little bit softer. It's a little bit softer. But if you weren't really paying attention, you're not going to notice it unless you're really trying to find flaws. But it was sharp enough. So how far can you zoom in with 4K before it's noticeable? So I would even argue then, yes, it's nice to have a 6K camera so that you can not worry about shakiness, and then you can punch in, and then you know in your brain and in your soul you're still outputting in 4K and you punched in a bit. But if you have one shot in your film, or one time, or just a couple times out of hundreds of shots where you needed to put some image stabilization on, and just for those handful of shots, you punched in a little bit to the 4K to give you that image stabilization, and you're still outputting 4K, I don't think anyone would really notice. And I don't see how, especially if it's just for online, nobody really watches an online video in 4K on a 4K TV. Even on your computer screen, you don't really watch it in 4K. Most computer screens aren't 4K, and most people are watching this stuff on, computer screens. So even then, I don't really see a benefit to shooting 6K or above. But there could easily be reasons I don't know of that shooting 6K, 8K, 12K makes a lot of sense, and I'm happy to learn. I'm happy to learn that. Yeah. Travis, that comment was flagged because it had the word shit in it, so I made it visible. Giveaway. So it was a balloon as the mysterious object on that lunar eclipse clip. Yes, giveaway, it was a balloon. They were both balloons. They were two mysterious objects. One was a Mylar #1 balloon, as if it was like a first birthday, or, any birthday that had a 1 in it. Could be 21st birthday. And the second object was a star. Would the general audience even notice? Oh, by the way, I sent you a message on your website. I wasn't sure if you got it. I was trying to share our teaser with you just for shits and giggles. Yeah, what's the best way to send us a thing? Probably, I very rarely check our Facebook messages, but you can send us a Facebook message with a link. I don't even know how to check our website messages. That's my business partner, and we don't really check them often, unfortunately. But our email address is on our website. You could always send us an email. I've been working a lot the last week, so I apologize if I haven't responded to anything that you might have sent, because last week, basically all week, including Sunday, I was working. If you can't tell, I'm also stalling a bit, because when we actually get into Premiere, it's going to be pretty tedious. Yeah, so you have a trailer? Does the trailer, Travis, have any, graphic... Well, violence, I guess, is okay. Maybe not. But does the trailer have any copyrighted music in it? Or nudity? Jomo over on the Twitch. What's up, Jomo? I was too tired to what's the word I'm looking for? I was too tired to participate myself, but I saw you and Pat the other night doing some sort of game where the audience in the Twitch chat was participating in some sort of cartoony looking race for a guy whose name had Lucha in his name. He was a British guy. And it was exclamation point race to race, exclamation point race to race. And I did not do it just because I was so tired. I knew I was going to fall asleep. But I saw you were doing that, Jomo. It looked like fun. I gave credit to the music, but you don't have to share here. I was just curious with you. Yeah. The only reason why I don't want to do the teaser, Travis, is because one of the first streams I ever did, I was watching a film that some guy sent me. I forget his name. Neil was his name. And we were watching his film, and all of the music in his film was from, just videos from YouTube that he downloaded and put in. So he did not buy them or anything. And, almost all of them were okay. It was oh, this is maybe, you can't monetize this video, which I don't really care about. These videos are not really monetized because these full replays are just put on YouTube, on a Rethink page. So these aren't monetized. My nuggets from these are monetized. So I would definitely not put in the nugget. But one of the videos of one of the smaller composers just had block globally. So that even if I were to take the whole stream and put it up on Rethink, it would just get taken down. The whole thing just blocked completely because of that one song. So just in case I don't want to like play anything that has copyrighted music in it, because there's a chance that I would have to like go in afterwards, edit out the song, mute it. I just have to do more work, which I don't want to do. Giveaway. Will you upload a video for NeoWise? NeoWise is tough, giveaway. So if you don't know, I live streamed the partial lunar eclipse that happened on July 4th, and I had 1,200 people in the chat watching live. This stream right now, there was 1,200 people watching because people were Googling it. Lunar eclipse live stream. Lunar eclipse live stream. I wish I had 1,200 people in here right now watching me. That would be cool, but no one's searching for dumb bald guy talks about editing stream. They were looking for, you know, live moon eclipse. So, but giveaway, the NeoWise comment is difficult to do for a couple of reasons. Number one, it only is visible a little bit after sunset and a little bit before sunrise. Obviously today, I will be going probably until sunset. Taking out my telescope, setting up the live stream and stuff takes a little bit of time. So even if I were to like stop this at exactly 8 p.m. my time and get everything going, I might still miss it. That's number one. And number two is it just so happened that the moon on July 4th was in the sky south of me, facing the south. That's really good because just where I'm set up and where I was doing everything, the front of my apartment faces south. So I had my laptop and a cable going right outside my front window to my front yard. And I don't have a window to the backyard. I live in a basement apartment, and the closest back to the backyard my window gets is probably like 25, 30 feet outside the window. I don't have a long enough cable to go the backyard, which would be facing north. NeoWise is on the northwest sky, which is if I'm standing in my front yard, it's basically like the house is in the way. I can't see it, or the neighbor's house. It's only going to be at the horizon. So I don't have a good view. The moon was like up in the sky, facing south. I had a clear view of it. NeoWise is facing the other direction, north, and it's low in the sky. So I have trees, I have houses. It's going to be very hard to do. And I could obviously go to a park or go on to somewhere where I could get up high, but then I wouldn't have a power source for my laptop. I wouldn't have a way to stream. I'm sort of tethered to my apartment. But that being said, it's possible. I could take a look outside later on, northwest, standing in my driveway, and see if I can see it, but I really don't think I can. Jomo, it's all good. Stream Racers with Lucha Freddy. Is he a famous wrestler? I never heard of him. Jomo, the moon stream was cool. Thanks, Jomo. Thanks for being there. Travis says, I got to get back to work. See you on Wednesday. No problem, Travis. Good luck with the work. So, yeah. Giveaway, that's my story with NeoWise. I would like to just at least see it with my eyes, too. I want to try to locate it. It's possible, but it would be a lot of work. Although, I probably should do it, because if people are searching for NeoWise live stream, I should do it. The balloons made you laugh. Yeah. Yeah. So you were watching live, Jomo, when the balloon thing happened? I didn't know it was a balloon until afterwards. I thought it was a satellite or something. Okay, I'm going to get into like the music video work now. Goodbye, everybody. Because I feel like no one's going to want to watch. Okay, so we're in Premiere. I'm going to make a new project. What is this? Help improve our... How likely you to recommend to... I guess I'm extremely likely to. Won't let me do it right now. So now I won't. How about that? Okay, so I am going to call this Agent Envy music video because that's her name. Or I should call it MOS because it's My Own Summer video. Because we may do another video for another song of hers. And I'm not making that up. We talked today and she wants to do another one. So that's really cool. Where am I going to save it? I'm going to save it into right here. And I guess I'll make a new folder here called Project File. And all this else I could ignore. Extremely likely. What would make you more likely to recommend Premiere Pro to others? No, you were there for the editing stream, says Jomo. Oh, cool. Note, this information will be associated with your Adobe ID. Adobe may contact me about my feedback, sure. Let me think about this. What would make me more likely to recommend Premiere Pro? Well, why don't people use it? It's expensive. They have to do a monthly service. It's complicated. Whatever. But it is like the best that you can get right now, in my opinion. Okay, so here we are starting a new project file. So, what I want to figure out is, now our camera shoots in RAW. They're called .crm files. I don't want to get into why we did that, but there's a reason. But simultaneously, it also records proxy files. Now, proxy files are the same file name, almost. The same length, the same clip. It's the same thing. It's recording simultaneously the raw clip and this proxy clip at the same time. The raw clips are huge. They're very computer heavy. The proxy clips are smaller. You can't tweak them as much. You can't do as much work with them in post because they're smaller. But what people do is you edit using the proxy footage because it doesn't slow your computer down. You just make the edits. Then when you're done editing, you reconnect or you connect the raw footage to the edits you made. So you have all this editing here. And what you do, you have all this editing, and what you do is you say, like, okay, so all of this editing, even though I used the proxy clips, unlink this work from those clips and link the raw footage with these clips. Because all you're doing is you're just saying, in this clip, in point, out point. This clip, in point, out point. This clip, in... All the editing in the timeline is just computer code. That's all it is. It's just telling the computer, go to this clip, and go to this time frame, this frame, and then let it play until this frame. That's what that cut is. Then for the next cut, just go to this clip, this particular clip, go to that in point and that out point for that clip. So when you're looking at the timeline, you're not looking at the actual clips cut up. You're just looking at, like, the computer. All the computer thinks is that those things in the timeline are just like pointing at certain clips and what time periods to play them. So what actual footage is connected to those pointing can be swapped in and out. So you start with the proxy and then you swap out into the raw. Because if you were to edit the raw, it would be very computer heavy. You'd hit play and it would be like thinking, and then it would start playing. And then who knows if it would even be smooth. It would just be, might be like this. Because it's like, it's so big, such big data with like all the pixels are all there, you know, or whatever, that the computer can't catch up. So that's why you do it with the proxy. Now, a lot of the times, what a filmmaker would do is you take that raw footage and you spend however long you need actually re-rendering proxy files. So you have a encoder program, you have a media encoder program. Back in the day, it was MPEG Stream Clip. That was the one back in the day that we used. You bring in all your raw footage over here, and that could take a while. Then you say, okay, make a proxy file, and you set, I want it this format, this much compression, this, and render it and put it all on this hard drive. And you hit go, and then depending on how much raw footage you had, that could take all day, rendering all those files out. So that's one day of editing right there, just sitting, waiting for your computer to be done, making your proxies. Then you bring the proxies in, you work, and then you reconnect them later. The cool thing about our camera, the C200, is that it makes those proxies on the fly, simultaneously. So you don't have to render it later and lose a day in editing. Pardon me. Now, when the camera came out, a couple years ago, Adobe was not set up for this. Apparently, Canon and Adobe, they don't speak to each other very well in terms of like the software. So now what I'm doing is I am going to, first of all, bring in all the raw footage into the project and then all the proxy footage. I'm going to make a timeline where I bring the raw footage in, and I want to see how brutal it would be to edit the raw footage. Because if I could just edit the raw footage, I don't even need to touch the proxy. I doubt that's going to be the case. I really doubt that's going to be the case. But if that's something that I can't do, then we'll move on to bringing the proxies in, putting those in the timeline. I want to make a few like random cuts. And then I want to see if I can relink the footage from the proxy to the raw and see if that works. And then if that works, then I'll probably just delete this whole project file, start over from scratch, and just knowing that that's what I can do. And I have this stream as a record. So let's get into it. Over here in our project folder, we want to import. And I guess I'll go with these three. Actually, let's just do everything. Card 1, card 2, card 3, those are the raws. This is the song, and this is the proxy. The only thing I'm not bringing in is like the file that I'm working on, so no reason to. Import full. Actually, you know what? I'll just import this whole folder, and then I'll just delete everything. So I'll click here, this one, and I'll just do. Okay, never mind. So let's do this. Let's do it all again. I'm holding down the control button so I can just select them one at a time. Import folder. Import failure. Okay, it doesn't like the songs, the MP3 and the wave. Okay, whatever. Oh, it only brought in the song. Great. Already annoyed. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so do I have to do this one at a time? I guess I'll just, all right, let me try these three. Can you bring in those? It should say import folders. No, it only did card 2. All right, so I got to do this one at a time. Great. All right, one at a time we do then. Doesn't seem to want to work. Hopefully it doesn't put it in alphabetical order. Okay, good. All right. Card 3. This is editing, folks. This is why it takes forever. Import. So I think that's in there. So let's do the proxy as well. Now, usually, at least what I'm aware of, you can kind of trick the computer into linking footage. If you just name the source file, you name the new media that you want to bring in and link. If you just name it the same name, the computer really shouldn't know the difference. There might be a warning. Like, let's say I bring in footage that's like, steve01.mov, and it's me on a beach, and I'm editing it. And then I want to link it with the raw footage of steve01.mov. If I film a shot, completely different time, completely different location, and just name it steve01.mov and say, hey, relink this beach footage with the raw footage, and I navigate to the other location just with the same name and bring it in, the first thing that will happen is the computer will recognize that it has a different length, unless by some act of God, the clip is exactly the same length down to the frame. So the beach one could be 7 seconds and 6 frames. And if I go to the other one and it happens to be 7 seconds and 6 frames, then it really won't. If it's the same name and the same length, it won't know the difference at all. So that's never going to happen. That would be like an act of God. So if you were about to navigate to the wrong footage, even though it has the same name, the first flag that will pop up is say, hey, this footage doesn't have the same length or in and out points or some kind of jargony term. You sure you want to continue? And then you could do yes, and then you bring it in and you realize it's all messed up. It's all wrong. Now, in this particular circumstance, I'll show you because we have some time. So here's the raw footage. Let's just say card 1. The first clip is called A001, so that's camera A, cam A, 001, clip 001, underscore 200619UJ, which you don't have to remember. This is just sort of a random number that it generates, underscore NV1. I made NV. I put that in. So now, can I open up another window? I don't think I can. At least I don't know how. Open new window. There we go. So let's compare these side by side. So if I go to the proxy, now look at this. That's the same. So look, this first clip over here, the raw, is what I just said. But over here, the proxy is A001, same thing, NV1 underscore P. See that? There's no underscore P here. Over here, there's an underscore P. There's also 2 files associated with the same thing. There's an MXF, multi-exchange format, or something like that, or multimedia exchange format. That's the file. That's the actual video file. Then there's this XML, which is computer code associated with that file. I don't exactly know what's on this XML. Usually the program kind of ignores the XML, but an XML is kind of similar to what I was talking about with the timeline. Point there and go there. So there might be settings or certain tweaks with the parameters of the file itself, maybe like the brightness of it or the contrast of it or like what kind of pixel aspect it is or whatever, that it might be associated with the file via this XML. But usually you can just kind of ignore it, although I would bring them all in. But as you can see, the biggest kind of concern that I have is that the raw and the proxy do not have the same exact file name. So in order to sort of do this quickly, it might be a problem. Now, I did see in a tutorial that if you just change all of the names of this to proxy, which there is a way to do in batch. I don't know if I can do it on PC, but I've seen in Mac, like I could literally just take this hard drive out of this computer, put it in my Mac, and batch add ROXY to all of those file names. That might be the problem. Although that YouTube video that I watched was 3 years old or 2 years old. It was from 2018. I have the most up-to-date version of Premiere, I think. Maybe it's not up to date by like a month or 2. So I should probably look into that. I know. But I'd like to think that if Premiere is on their game, then they will have updated the code in Premiere to say, hey, listen, so for this particular circumstance, if it's from C100 or C200 footage, just take in the P. It's okay. Underscore P is okay. It doesn't have to say underscore proxy. It could say underscore P. Hoping that's the case. I guess we'll find out. Take another sip. My business partner is texting me and he has forgotten that I am streaming. Okay, so let's figure this out. All right, already we're getting problems here. So unsupported format or damaged file on a bunch of these. Look at that, NV1. Is it all of these? So this thing doesn't even like Doesn't even like my proxies. Doesn't even want to watch. It doesn't even want to open up the proxy file. So I was not anticipating that. There it is, though. So what the hell are you talking about?
Start over again? Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Do it a couple of times, like...
Okay.
Oh, these are all clips 1. Clips 1. That's annoying. I'd like to see the file name. That's strange. See, these should say the file name. A001, C002 or whatever. But it's not. So that's strange. What about the CRM? These say it. So already that's going to be a pain in the butt. Let's see. Will you view this? Oh, yeah. Look at the difference, by the way. This is the raw flat image in 4K. And this is the baked-in LUT lookup table color grade of the proxy. Very different. So we're stuck with this. If we wanted to change things about this, it would be harder to do. But the flat image, it almost looks black and white. That's just a visual representation of the fact that there's much more data there. There's the whole spectrum of white balance is in there, all sorts of shit's in there. So it just appears, because you're looking at the whole spectrum, you're not looking at anything over anything else. It just appears flat. But I can see it, so right now that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll just edit in the raw. I don't know. Let's see. I'm at full quality right here, so I'm expecting it to not really work too well at full quality. Let's see.
Speeding. I'm rolling.
Okay.
So just keep it, as you are now.
Yep,
And
see
then
it
whenever you're
skipping.
ready, you can just start doing your whole thing in your brain.
Yeah. My whole computer just slowed down. I'm looking over at Streamlabs, and like when I'm talking, the even the audio meters aren't even going correctly. So that's crazy. What about if I do half? How about that? Half looks okay. It's dropping some frames. Interesting.
Can you
Okay, and then half looks okay. What about quarter?
try to pull your arm up? Give me 1 second. Start over again. Yeah, go for it.
I don't see any drop
Yeah.
frames on a
Do it a
quarter.
couple times, like...
What's interesting about a quarter resolution is that theoretically that's 1080. Because if you're editing in 4K, technically 1/4 of the resolution is 1080. Technically. If you're going by X and Y. If you're going by just one dimension, then it's only half. But if you're going by both dimensions, then it's quarter, technically. But yet I do see pixelization. You can see it probably more on the TV screen here.
Like that. Just give me a second. Ready. Nice. Can you do one where your wrist is like... It doesn't have to go fully limp.
You know what? I mean, the RAW is playing. The RAW is playing at a quarter speed. I think maybe the best scenario just happened. I think I'm just going to edit the RAW at a quarter resolution and not even worry about the proxies. Especially also since, like, they're not even the right clip name. Just so annoying. We did shoot some footage at 60 frames. I guess not on card 1. So let me take a look at any on card 2 at 60 frames. Yeah, here we go.
Rolling, stand by. Okay. Okay. Go for it.
So those of you who are savvy might know what's happening there. So the camera can shoot in 60 frames per second. One of the limitations of the C200 is the frame rate options. It doesn't have many. It has 24, 30, or 60 at 4K raw. It would be really nice if we could dial that into like 48 frames a second for slow-mo. But unfortunately not. But the good thing is that this song in general was already a little bit slow. So you might be aware of a technique in music video filmmaking where the footage is going slow-mo, but they're still in sync. Their lip sync is still on with the song. You might have seen that in a music video or in a film or something like that. So how does one achieve that? Well, what you do is you film the footage in twice the frame rate. So usually we're in 24 frames. We'll times that by 2. 48 frames per second. And when you film, that's what slow-mo is. Slow-mo is over-cranking the footage. So you're filming more frames per second, but then when you play it back at the normal speed, since there were more frames per second and you're going now at the normal frames per second, you've doubled the amount of frames, so it looks slow motion. So if you double the frame rate to 48 frames a second, then what you do is you go the other way and you halve the speed of the song. So you're going times 2 frames, then you slow the song down by 1/2. Because that's just how it works out. It might be hard to wrap your brain around, but in real life, you're listening to the song played back. Oh, I'm sorry. Completely wrong. My bad. I confused myself. You want to speed the song up as well. So you speed the song up times 2, and you double the frames times 2. That way the song is playing really fast, and you sing it really fast, but then when you slow it down, your singing is now in sync with the song at the correct frame rate. Confused myself there. The opposite is true too. You could undercrank the camera. You could do 12 frames a second, and then you could slow down the song. And in that case, you're actually singing it slowly. And then when you speed it up, you're singing it slowly. You know what I mean? Then you speed it up, and then then you can have that undercranked, weird sort of like 1890s look of a film going quicker, but still be in sync. So that's what we do. Now, unfortunately, like I was saying, the C200 doesn't do 48 frames per second. It only does 60 frames per second at 4K raw. It'd be nice to do 48, but it's a limitation we had to sort of trade off for the rest of the stuff that we get for the C200. But that means that if we're going to try to do this effect, 60 is 2.5 times more than 24. I can prove it. Watch this. 24 times 2.5 is 60. So she had to speed up the song to 2.5 times the normal speed. Listen. It's funny though, it's because the song is already like a very slow song. It's a slow sounding song in general. So this wasn't a big deal. It's very easy for her to sing at that speed. Not the case with every song. So we got lucky in that case. So she was able to speed up the track by 2.5 times, and she was able to sing it lip synced at 2.5 times faster. Now you may notice that it was not pitched. It didn't sound like a chipmunk. She was able to speed up the song while maintaining the pitch. It's something that that software can do. Maybe that'll be the nugget, even though I confused myself. So, okay. I think we might have gotten, like, best case scenario here. And I'm just going to edit in the raw. Who'd have thunk it? That's crazy. I didn't think that was going to happen. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to And since I'm going to be just editing the raw, there's no reason to have to relink the media. Like I was saying, that whole spiel I gave about relinking everything might not be necessary, because I'm just editing in the raw in general. I'll just send it all off to Cody for the color. So in the sequences, I'm going to do a new sequence. I ignore all this stuff. I just bring in the file and see what happens. So I'm going to ignore this for now. I'm just going to name it sequence 1. I don't care. So what I do is I make a new sequence, and then I drop the footage that I'm using into it, and then it'll be like, hey, you're not using the right thing. So let's see what this thinks it is. This clip does not match the sequence settings. Change the sequence to match the clip settings? Yes. Change. Cool. All right. And I'm going to do a quarter, because that was playing nice.
Beating. I'm rolling. But, so just keep it, as you are now. And then whenever you're ready, you can just start doing your whole thing in your brain.
Amazing. It's playing back great. You might be noticing, like, in the fingers, pixelization as we play. Here, I'll hit play. See right in here? But, like, that's the drawback for... I'd rather see all of the frames and have the resolution drop than see the frames tick away and drop. But the fact that I'm watching the raw play smoothly, even with the reduced resolution, is more than I could have hoped for, which is nice. Finally, some good luck. Cool. Cool thing about this format too, the raw format, is you can see the lines right here. So this black line here and at the top, the frame in raw is the standard DCI frame. So it's 4096 by 2160. It's not UHD. So the raw format in the C200 is DCI HD 4K, not UHD. So I do have those extra pixels. So you're not seeing a crop above. You're seeing 4096 pixels by 2160. Cool. I guess I could just start editing. That's crazy. Let's make sure we have the song. I guess I'll use the WAV. Ooh, yeah. That sounds awesome. Sounds awesome.
Hey, you, big star, tell me when it's over.
The song never really gets more raucous than that. It kind of maintains that energy level for the whole song. Like if I skip ahead, you can see even these loud parts here. If I skip ahead.
And it's summer, come, shove it,
It sounds so good.
the sun, I think God is moving. It's time.
So yeah, this is her vibe. Most of her songs, at least from what I can tell, have that this level of energy and like darkness, which is cool. It's her signature vibe. Dig it. And this song was engineered by my buddy Richie. Shout outs to Richie. If you're on Twitch, go watch him on Twitch. Richie Beretta. Twitch.tv/Richie Beretta. 1 R 2 T's. But yeah, It's crazy. I was thinking that I was going to have to figure out like all this footage stuff, but I think I can actually start just jumping in and editing. Didn't think that was going to happen today. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. I'm going to drop the song in and I'm just going to start going. But I'm going to do that after I take a little break, after I pee, and I'll come back and we'll start really getting into this. So yeah. See you in a few minutes. I'm just going to take a quick break. Here we go.
Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad, and Tanagra. I am Locutus as a board. You will respond to my questions. I am Locutus as a board. You are bored. I am Locutus as a board. You will assist us. I am Locutus as a board. You are bored. I am Locutus as a board. Lock phases on that vessel. I am Locutus as a board. There are 4 lights.
Ramble on about something everyone knows. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic. You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving. I'm not dressed properly.
My love is a fever, longing till for that which longer nurseth witness thee. You'll have to call again. In faith, I do not love thee. With mine eyes they be 1,000 errors see. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise. If despite of you are pleased to go, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Tanagra. Angela. Tanagra. I am Locutus as a board. You will respond to my questions. I am Locutus as a board. You are bored. I am Locutus as a board. You will assist us. I am Locutus as a board. You are bored. I am Locutus as a board. Lock phases on that vessel. I am Locutus as a board. There are 4 lights.
Make it so. 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 Make it so.
First duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle of what Starfleet is based. Now you can't find it within yourself to stand up, tell the truth. You don't deserve to wear that uniform.
This is becoming a speech.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
You just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic. Incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic.
Yo. Moving from topic to topic. Quite hypnotic. I'm back. Welcome. I just had a bunch of coffee. So now to balance out, I'm gonna have a hard seltzer. This is truly mango lemonade. For being seltzer, oh, it's lemonade hard seltzer. That's why it's more flavorful. So I was gonna say, because like White Claw is not this flavorful. I put my drink like way far away. So like whenever I spill something, it's because like a cable caught it and it knocks it over. So I put the damn thing like really far away so that nothing could catch it. All right, well we're gonna start editing. Let's do this. I'm very excited. Yeah, so I guess I'll just call this, you know, first pass. I don't know. Let me bring you in. Here you are. I'm gonna also turn this off for now. Excuse me. So, who we got? Salvatore Larin just subscribed. Very nice. Molto buono. He's probably just watching a tutorial of mine and subscribe from there. I don't know if you're watching the live stream, but if you're watching, Salvatore, please say buongiorno in the chat. Okay, so what I want to figure out now, I do have to spend a little bit of brain power thinking about this. You see down here, there's like 4 tracks of audio. It's all the same. It's just the onboard mic. I don't think I'll ever be using like onboard. I don't think I'll ever be using like audio from the shoot. It's mostly just me talking. There's going to be, you know, behind the scenes stuff, people saying things, the track will be playing. So I'm trying to think, like, does it make sense to like just make it impossible for the audio to even come into the timeline when I'm editing? Because every time I bring a clip in, it's going to want to bring in the tracks. So I could I have to decide now whether or not that's going to like hurt me later or not be a big deal at all. My gut tells me it's not going to be a big deal at all. I could consider all of the footage without sound, I think. But I'm really trying to just think for a second, like, is there any way that's going to screw me? I don't think so. I don't think there's any moment in the video where I'm going to need to use any of the audio. Then again, there's also like, no, I don't think so. Let me think. So like, well, you know what? Okay, wait, let me think about it. So it could be possible that I might need to like sync up the audio from the scratch track with the audio, with the actual song. So having the like sound from the scratch track there to like, help sync might be beneficial. So maybe I will leave it. Okay. That's a good reason. That's a good reason. So I'm going to keep the sound in there. But yeah. However, I don't need 4 tracks. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the audio for the song. I'm going to lay it on like track 1. And then when I bring in and I'm going to lock it. So I'm going to hit the lock button, boom, there. And that way, if I go to bring in anything else, like it won't allow me to drop anything on that timeline, on that track. And I'll just leave the rest of the clips there. So that's what I'm going to do. I may or may not actually lock track 3 and 4 too, because I only need 1 track of the scratch. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually, well, to test this, I'm going to bring this over here. I don't want to delete it for now. I'm going to bring, actually, I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete this for now. I'm going to bring the wave file of the song in here. Cool. There it is. Not going to mess with the levels because that's all been done. This is the mastered final track. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock that track. And then I think I'm just going to lock 3 and 4 too. And then what happens if I bring in a clip? If I bring in the whole clip. See that? It's preventing me from putting the other tracks on there. And it brings the track down. Oh, okay. So it wants to go to track 5. Hang on. Is it also... Okay. Well, that's annoying. Let me, Apple Z. So it's creating new tracks. I mean, it's not like the end of the world. Is this really a problem I want to, like, tackle right now? What are these? Linked selections, snap in timeline, insert and overwrite sequences as nests or individual clips. I don't even know what that means. I don't, Oh, I think I know what to do. I think I figured it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to deselect 3 and 4. And I think that should work. Right? I'm almost there. I'm halfway there. So do I just deselect 1 as well? Cool. Figured it out. All right, just took a little bit of brain power. So it's only bringing in track 2, because it's putting it on track 2, but it's still linked. That's what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that the track was still linked, so I can move that around. Okay, cool. But let me ask you this. Do I need to have these locked then? No. That's really cool.
Yeah, do it one more time. I won't.
Cool. All right. Figure that out. Cool. All right. So. Actually, what I can do as well is I got to check to see if I have so we kind of wrote down like a faux shot list, or just like sort of description of what happens at each shot before we were filming, and we're using that sort of as like a guide. So I'm going to see if I could find that. And I also, there was an email as well. I'm using my Mac right now to bring up that stuff. Okay, so I found my little shot list, but it's not for the whole video. So what I want to also do is grab her email that has like the shot list. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to be editing today. I thought I was just going to be doing tedious stuff. So I'm just going into my emails right now, and I'm looking for, okay, here's her stuff. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste that into my sort of Word document I have here. Actually, I'm going to make a new Word document on this computer. I use Pages, not Word, but whatever. I'm going to paste that in here. It's a little big. Let me make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm also going to, underneath this, do mine from my other thing. Because I didn't do all of it. I only did like the first like 30 seconds or so. As I recall, we basically used her shot list like throughout the thing. Cool. Okay, so what does she have for the beginning here? 0 seconds to 15 seconds, the intro synth. Opening shots of the light bulb swinging, bound wrists and feet, general atmosphere setting, etc. She's kind of slumped forward and unconscious. And then, so for me, I put the same thing. Dark close-ups of her, like, extremities. She's unconscious, super close-up of eyes closed. And then 16 to 30, when the guitar comes in, her eyes start to open as she comes to. When the guitar comes in, her eyes start to open. She weakly struggles. Okay, so for right now, I basically have two vibes. I've got atmospheric environment shots that I need, and I need her unconscious, close up, and then her eyes start to open at a certain point. And then we cut to a wide to see the full room with her in it. Okay, so I need to locate those shots. I also want to listen to the track and visualize in my head when I want her eyes to open, and also when I want it to cut to the wide. So normally in filmmaking, you start with an establishing shot. You want to establish where you are wide. You want to see everything. Like, for instance, if it's like, the scene takes place at an airport. The first shot in the scene is a wide shot outside the airport, usually up high, looking down on the airport. And there is the airport. Then it cuts in, and we're inside the airport, at the travel where the person is. Like, hey, can I check your bags? So usually you start wide and you zoom in. In this particular case, we want to reveal it later on, the wide shot. So the establishing comes later after a little bit of like confusion. We're looking to confuse, we're looking to intrigue, we're looking to pique your curiosity, pique your interest. So the first couple of shots are going to be just like random weird things, her, and then at a certain moment it's wide, and it's like, oh, there she is, full in the chair, tied up, oh my god, boom. So it's like weird, and then there she is. So that's the vibe we're going for with this opening shot. So in my brain right now, I want to kind of listen to it and pick a moment where her eyes start to open. And then also where the cut is going to come in. Cut to wide. Obviously, right there is a good spot. When the guitar comes in, her eyes start to open. Okay. At least that's what I wrote. What'd she write? See, I think in my brain, that guitar is not going to cut to the wide. I think in my brain, that guitar is eyes. And then it's going to cut to the wide, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, you.
Cool. All right, so I think we can start right now with the eyes opening. So we want to pick a good performance for the eyes. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give myself some space to kind of look at the source footage. Now, what we could also do here is I could double click on this and I can go to the thumbnail and I can look at the shots. So we kind of shot everything in like order in terms of like the action of the video. So I kind of know where I'm at. I'm looking for like super close up of her face. Here's a close up. Another close up. Is it close enough? I want like uber close. This is a cool little feature too with the thumbnail. You can kind of just scrub within the thumbnails to look at everything. Here we go. All right, so it looks like these two clips are super close up. Yeah. Cool. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for her unconscious and then the eyes start to open. And then wide. I think. So let's take a look at this. Oh, it brought it in right there. It's interesting.
Rolling? You want me to get them to shut up?
I don't care.
Action whenever you're ready.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good amount of time. I kind of just want her there unconscious. I wish I was a little bit closer. I'm actually going to screw up the lighting on me real quick because I have a light right next to my monitor and it's hard for me to really see what's going on in the monitor with this light right here. So unfortunately, I'm going to get a little shadowy. Stand by. A little more shadowy, but I can see a little bit better, which is nice. Also, I think I need to make my monitor a little brighter. Stand by. Sorry about this. Menu, picture. Yeah, I mean, I'm not color correcting it, so I can put the brightness up as far as I want. Okay. Cool. All right, let's take a look at this clip.
Focus is very shallow here, so I want to get good 2 takes so I can be more confident. Okay, I'm rolling and I'm just going to do a little adjustment here.
All right, I don't have a lot of time, unconscious time for this one. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. You might be wondering why this shot is upside down. I shot it on our glide cam, and I flipped the camera over so I can get the camera a little bit lower. It's just a little bit easier to maneuver when it was upside down. I think this might be the only time I do this, because I eventually just like did it a different way. So obviously I would have to flip this image, but so I'm just looking at like what this shot is. I also have to keep in mind, like, this is going to be very affected, this footage. It's going to look much more dark, dreary, dank, grayer, probably. It's going to look, you know, much more, it's going to have a lot more character after it's color graded. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not really happy with it, but I just have to like put that out of my head.
In the frame, it might work in the. See what it kind of looks like.
Maybe I should, or maybe I should start at the wide shot. Yeah, here it is. Start here. Make.
Just me recording. I'll show you the clip.
This looks like a test shot, so I can ignore that. Okay, here we go.
Rolling. And action. Wait, sorry. Action on Alejandra. And playback.
I remember from shooting that there was a part where I kind of walked through the columns. Kind of want to see that. Nice. Or maybe I should start at when the lyrics come in and then work my way backwards. Maybe that makes the most sense. I'm starting to think that like the first clip I drop in is like when I want the lyrics to start. I'm not sure. Or I could just say screw it and just start at the beginning. It's kind of hard like in this situation, like what should I do? Where should I go? You know, with a music video, there's so many like options and there's so much creativity that can actually block you from getting work done. Like, where do I begin? But the good news is that like once you get over that hump, it kind of starts to like piece itself together. So I'm just kind of looking at footage, reviewing footage. Like just because I haven't dropped anything in the timeline doesn't mean I'm not working.
Okay. Stand by. Okay, and action, Alejandra. Playback.
I do like this clip.
Action, Alejandra. Playback.
I'd have to cut it right about there when you start to see our crap. Also, I also don't want to start it until the camera kind of settles.
Playback.
Yeah, it's a little sloppy. Excuse me, I burped. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know if I ever do that again. It would be nice if I could flip the footage in the project bin here, but I don't think I can. Like, can I flip this here? Modify. Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be really cool, though, if I could, like, place an effect on this. So what if I double-click Effect Controls? That's the clip. Doesn't look like I can flip it. I can mess with the stuff, though. That's cool. What does it look like in log 3? Whoa. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Can mess with the stuff. That's pretty cool. Let's see exposure. Huh. That's cool. I'm just messing around. But there's no way to flip it, huh? There's probably like an easy way to do it, and I just don't know what it is. Damn. Poopy butt. I really want to flip it. Is there no way to flip the image here? Just this clip, though. Damn, that's really annoying. Well, I have to take a break to pee. The hard seltzer has gotten to me. I shall return shortly. Sorry about that.
Make it so. Make it so.
just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had the chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic.
You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving.
Okay. You'll have to call again. He's just leaving. I'm back. While I was peeing, I Googled it. And so if I go to effects, I'm going to have to figure out how to drag this over. Video effects, transform. I guess it's horizontal flip, right? So horizontal flip, go to here, go to here. Whoops, wrong one. Apple Z, bing. That was wrong. I figured horizontal flip, flip along the horizontal axis. This is why I thought it was that. So look, a horizontal flip. Here's the horizontal axis right here. Let me draw the line for you. There's the horizontal line. Flip along that axis would mean you flip it this way, right? So wouldn't that be basically like rotating it like that? You flip along the axis, horizontal flip, a horizontal flip. That's how I think of it. So you're telling me a vertical flip. I don't know. Whatever. I was just trying to explain why my mentality went to horizontal flip. Boom. Okay, cool. So now the track is flipped in the thing. So I could probably find out a way to do it to multiple clips, but instead I'm just going to do it 2 more times. Cool.
And so we're going to sing to camera, so I'm not going to move until you start going. Let's do.
That's right. So when she starts singing, there's a point where she's singing to the camera, and there's a point where she doesn't, but I'm trying to figure that out. So let me see.
Do playback.
So we're singing not to camera, right?
Not to camera, yeah. And you're in that, you're awake, but you're just still like drowsy-ish. I'm not going to start moving yet, but well, I'll do this.
Something's wrong. This looks like it's also flipped the other way. No. She should be on the left side of frame. Let me get rid of this too. Something is wrong. Maybe I just want to like rotate it, not do a flip. Stand by. Effects. Use the transform effect. Effects, video effects. Distort, transform. Effects, video effects. No distort. Transform. Distort. Why? Okay. So then come here. Go here. Okay. Double click U. Effects controls. Rotation. 180. There. Now she's on the correct side of frame.
Cool. Let's do it again. Can you just rewind?
Cool. I kind of just need to like watch most of this footage just to like remind myself what like I was thinking at the time. It's better to have like a script supervisor on hand and be writing down all these notes, but I just told myself I'd remember, but you know, it's it's tough. I mean, I'm already like ahead of the game anyway because I'm already starting to edit. So, you know, I just wanted to make it semi-interesting for you guys. But like, if this is just going to be me watching stuff and figuring it out, then that's just what it's gotta be.
Cool. Let me do one more action. And wait a minute. Okay, playback.
This is a dope clip. So I like this clip. I mean, that was a dope ass take for the first clip, for the first line. Okay, so the second "Hey You," she kind of breaks the fourth wall and looks directly into the lens. So that's where that one is. And it looks like from this point on...
Stand by.
We're just there.
Okay. And playback.
I also recall we did a lighting gag here. So what's this one?
Cool. All right, cut. Here we go. And
I think this is the lighting gag.
playback.
Nice.
Sorry.
All right, we obviously screwed that one up. So let's see this one.
Okay. Playback.
Cool. Let's look at this one.
Rolling. Rolling. And playback. I cut it.
Didn't like any of these takes.
No, it's all good. I'm sure it's a pain. Playback when ready.
Looks like I cut this one too.
All right, cut. Let's. Okay, rolling and. Hey, let's cut.
Man, what's not one of these?
Okay.
I mean, that was okay. Can I label this? I mean, this was usable. I'll label this one as green.
Okay.
We had like a lighting gig. So there's like this static effect that's happening. So what we did was we had the lights shut off for that. But we had a second option to cut to a different lighting setup altogether. If I use the one with the lighting gag where we shut the lights off, the two lighting gags need to be timed correctly, and her performance to the lens needs to be good. So that's three things you need to get right. If we do the thing where we like cut away, which could be cool, could be like a glitchy effect, and we don't have to nail those three things. So that last take, like the two lighting gags were pretty good, but her performance might not necessarily been the best. There's probably better ones. So I'm looking for like that miracle take of all three. Not to mention my camera work should be good too. Nice. I mean, two good takes. I don't necessarily like how like much of a shift it is, you know. Hey you, you know what I mean? Like it'd have been cool if it was like, hey you, you know what I mean? Just a little bit more subtle. So you know, I could pick the one of those two that I like, and if we need to, I could do the other.
Okay. All right.
It's like the same every time. Still a good take though. Now I'm not seeing the label here for the green, so I feel like if I go back to this, yeah, there they are, 1, 2, 3 on the edges there. So clip 38. Let me go to clip 37. This one has no lighting guide. Yeah, I like that performance the best. And I can cut between, from this point forward on all the takes, she's just looking into the lens. I could cut between them, and it could be weird. I think I have at least one other take of a different focal length to cut between. But this take performance-wise is like really awesome. I wonder if I should label it a different color. Teal. We'll go teal for like best performance. Teal for best performance and green for best gag. I'm just going to write that down. Teal equals best performance. Green, good take for gag. Who knows if I can read that chicken scratch. Cool.
I'm not dressed
Whoops. Whoopsie. Sorry, I'm just checking something here. All right, so I like. So now this, I'm going backwards in time here. Clip, oh wait, no I'm not. That was 37, right? The teal was 37, so what's 36?
Okay, I'm rolling. So hang on and.
Yeah, there's two things. Number one, this still has that like stark difference. Hey you instead of hey you, you know. Number one. And number two, this take was before I gave her some direction. So she kind of falls to her side, and then there's a long period of time where her head is here before hey you. And so as a piece of direction I gave her, I was like, after you drop, it's just very still. We just need some bit of movement to like keep it interesting. So for the following take, she drops her head down, but then continues to move. Look at the difference. So here's this take. She's there. Her head is in the same spot for the whole walk, and then hey you, and then for this take, she moves her head a little bit. It's a subtle thing, but you know she shouldn't be completely frozen. You know something should be happening. So right now, I like this take the best. This doesn't have the lighting gags. But we did film a very similar thing. So I gave myself two options. I gave myself, for this shot, for those static effects, we can use the lighting gag, or we can cut to a different shot. And for the different shot, it's the same exact angle, the same camera move, everything is the same, except the lighting is different. So you can see the lighting's very different. It's much more ambient. And this particular footage is going to be put a red filter on it. So when I send this to Cody for him to do the color grade, he's going to affect this greatly. This will be like darker red. It's going to be a very different look, but it's a different, you know, you can see the difference in like color as opposed to my other take. Where's the teal one I liked? So this take is 46 and the teal one is 37. Especially with a filter on it, like when it gets to have the filter on it, 46. See, look at the difference. Is it subtle? I don't think it's very subtle. I think it's pretty starkly different. So for those sound effects, what we can do is we can cut to the different lighting setup just for those static effects. And I think that's what I'm going to do because I like the performance on this one better than even though we nailed the we didn't even fully nail the lighting gag on these. So like number one, that annoys me. So already it's like a little check in the box of like not doing that. But like, you know, it could be the case that like we use this take, we do the cutaway gag, and that's not working right. And we have to end up having to use the lighting gag. I apologize again. The seltzer and the coffee is really making me have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
My love is a fever, longing till for that which longer nurseth the disease. You'll have to go again. In faith, I do not love thee. With mine eyes they be 1,000 errors see. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise. If despite of you are pleased to go, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You'll have to go again. Angelad and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad and Tanagra. Darmok, Angelad and Tanagra. I am locutus aboard. You will respond to my questions. I am locutus aboard. You are bored. I am locutus aboard. You will assist us. I am locutus aboard. Is aboard. Block phases on that vessel. I am locutus aboard. There are 4 lights. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean Picard of the USS Enterprise. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Captain Jean Picard of the USS
All right, let's keep her going. Okay, so I know at the very least that I want to use this shot for the Hey You. I can't use a take previous to this because her head doesn't move. I mean, I guess I could. But I like this performance the best. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. But okay, so let's try to sync up that one. And then that'll be the first clip I put in the timeline. I guess the easiest thing would be to get it on that. Is there a way for me to just look at the audio? Yeah. So it's the second Hey You too, which is good to know.
You, they start, tell me when it's over. Hey you, hey you.
It's that one there.
Hey you.
So it's right about there. Oh, it sounds so good. So if I pull this in there,
You.
and then if I move this back,
Hey you. Big move.
yeah, it's like my instinct told me that like, oh, this is weird keeping the shot there, but like when the song kicks in, it's like, oh, it's so sick. So let me see something. That's the whole clip.
It's over. When it's over.
So I almost have to use the over here because you want to establish the way the shot is looking, so when it cuts away to the glitch and then back, you still feel grounded. So, you know, it's kind of like I just gotta pick a point where the shot is sticking. You know what I mean? Like I gotta pick a point where, okay, this edit has to be in, and then once I'm there, it's like a snowflake forming. A snowflake forms around a little itty bitty microscopic grain of dust. But once it has that nucleation site, the crystal will form around it and make a snowflake. So this right now is becoming my sort of nucleation site. It could be changed once I have all the other, once I have everything sort of grafted onto this edit, things can change around. But right now, like, I've found a performance I like. I've decided some things I like. Yes, I'm not starting at the beginning. I'm starting here, and I could work my way backwards. But now that I have this sort of seed to start to build off of, doesn't matter where it happens to land in the timeline. But now that I have it, I can start to craft. So for now, it's just gonna start like this.
When it's over.
So right there, I'm going to cut away to the thing. But I just want to like throw it on top. So whoops. All right, so which one was the one in the other lighting? So it was down here. Looks like it was this one. All right, this is the alternate take. This is not the alternate take. This is the same take, but at a different focal length, so I can cut between the two. That's what that one is. I don't even know it. Do I have another take of this? 47. I could check later. But right now, I have this other shot. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'm not gonna bring the audio in. I'm just gonna bring the visual in. That's cool. So I wonder if, yeah, so it's not perfect. I wonder if it makes more sense to just cut in at the focal length being the same. So what am I here? About there. So I can actually... So now I'm there. I think the focal length sells it more than like this the time we shot it.
When it's over,
maybe I'll even
hey you.
maybe I'll even go a little bit closer here. Kind of went up before her eye shakes. So let's start there. That's my out point. And I'll go there. I went backwards. You can kind of get away with like really weird shit in a music video. I'm also going to unlink and get rid of that.
When it's over,
It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm seeing... Maybe, hang on. Also lasts a little bit longer, so let me... I don't know, maybe the eyes don't work. So I could use the slip tool. So I'm looking at the right-hand frame and I'm just... That's the out point. So if I don't want an eye, I have to slide it so that the eye, just before the eye comes in, even though I like the timing. Yeah, that's cool.
hey you. Big mood.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I would cut right around there. She kind of looks like she's adjusting herself in the chair. I don't want that.
Mood.
Yeah, maybe around there. So there we go. Got our first cut in the film. There it is. Let's watch it.
When it's over,
I do have an insert of her saying, cloud. I don't know if I want to use it because like I was saying before, for this particular shot, like if we cut a, like we kind of need to establish this for a couple of seconds, this angle, this you know, this look, so that the glitch effect, since we're cutting away, the glitch feels like a glitch rather than just like a cut away, you know.
When it's over,
And also that should cut sooner. Almost think I want to shave a couple frames off the front here. One more frame. Yeah, better. Just 3 frames.
hey you, big mood.
See, now I have the urge to like continue that, but I really should like start backwards from where I am.
When it
And like fill in the beginning. It's interesting though. I mean, just that, and I know that's pretty much how the edit's gonna be. Just that alone was 26 seconds. That's crazy to me. It's a very long shot. 26 seconds in a music video is like, to be one shot is crazy. But at the same time, it's like, it's a slow song, and the more we can eat up time, the better, you know. Okay, so let's work our way backwards now. So we have all of this.
big star, tell me when it's over. Hey you, big moon.
It's so good. Oh man, it's really good. I'm really digging it. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna end for today. I'm very excited that we got something that's making me feel like it's a video. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it for today. I may actually edit it. So I have to be working on it all week. So for our next stream, when we edit this, when we pick this up, it'll be much more further along because I'm going to be working on it a lot tomorrow. But yeah, I think for now I'm at a good spot. I'm going to save it. And yeah, I think that's going to be the stream for today. So go back to here. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being involved. Yeah. I don't remember what the nugget was. I feel like the nugget had something to do with proxy footage or something. I'll have to go and check. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please tune in Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wednesday's stream. And we'll be working on this, I'm sure. I need to get it done. So talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Happy filmmaking. Peace.